In this video, we are going to be finding compositions of functions, so plugging functions inside of other functions. If you look here, we have f of x and g of x, and we're asked to find f of g of x. Another way of writing that would be like f of g of x, and that way keeping the letters in the same order. But it helps to write it this way because we see what the inside function is. Because g of x is the inside function, that function is what we're going to be plugging inside of f. Wherever we see an x, instead of an x, it's going to be all of g of x. So instead of f of g of x, we have f of square root of x minus 5, which means we're going to be plugging square root of 5 in for x. So we have square root of x minus 5, and then we still have this squared plus 5. And so again, instead of the x in f of x, we now have square root of x minus 5 because that's what g of x was. So looking at it in the reverse order, if we were asked for g of f of x, we could rewrite it as g of f of x. And we're going to be plugging f of x now inside of g of x. So we're going to plug this function inside of g of x. Instead of the x, we will now have this whole function. So we're going to have a big square root, and we'll have x squared plus 5. And then don't forget, we still have this minus 5 on the outside, but still under the square root. So just make sure it's clear when something's under the square root. And once that's plugged in, you can just simplify from there.